All right. Hello. Am I actually on here now? Oh dear. There we go. I don't know how much I ended up not having exist. Was it up here a little bit ago, Gala? Or was it just completely nothing for the whole time? The past, almost 15 minutes. Also, it seems like I might not be getting my audio that I need. Uh-oh. Oh no. We're having a lot of fun here. Hang on just a moment, folks. Having just a few issues. Not necessarily the game's fault, more so on my end. Hmm. I think my OBS crashed at some point, but I guess that nothing was ever actually live. Which is very interesting. No. I did not see any of that gala. Apologies. I try to keep all of my notification things off and down when I'm trying to do streaming. But before I launch into the intro thing that I had together, is everything going? Do we have the piano going off in the background? And how does my voice compare to the audio here? Hmm. Well, I suppose I'll restart my blunder. You're not hearing the game sound. Okay. Could be that it's just a little bit quiet. Yes, it is very quiet, actually. See, at 10 is a little bit more audible. Just doing the preliminary tests here. This is what happens when you're not on the horse for a long time. I believe almost a month's passed since my last video. Oh. Well, on my end, I'm seeing small, very gentle audio spikes. So I think the audio is working. Yes. It's very gentle atmospheric piano. Now that I've wasted almost 3 minutes, salutations. Welcome to a world very similar to ours, here within the Pale Beyond. This is a game put together by Bellular Studios, a group of people that I've been following since around the time 14 started to blow up really big in the World of Warcraft community. They started trying to try out other games and such, and I heard that they were actually making a game. 2 years later, it's here, and it's out. An extra month after that, and they've done a lot of patches. So my procrastination seems to be partially rewarded. Yeah, I saw that first comment, and I spoke on it, but of course I wasn't recording, so none of that was heard. But now that I have a little bit of time and I'm trying to put my motivations back together, put myself back into a groove. I figured it's time to put another project on top of the order list. Still working on Xenoblade 2. Still working on Crisis Core. I'll be getting back to those soon. But I needed to show my appreciation for the team over at Bellular for doing such a great job here. This is their first game. Critically, they're scoring above 85. And with personal reviews on Steam, they're landing in the high 90s. For a studio's first game, this is a grand showcase of high praise. And so now it's time for me to show my appreciation here with a playthrough of my own. And I'm going to try to take a little bit of a different styling to this, given that this is a very narrative-focused experience, tied into some very strong survival elements. I aim to do one playthrough here. Catalog my first experience. Swim or freeze. I also kind of want to try to half emulate the experience of an audiobook. I don't think I'll be very good at it, but that's what we're going to go for with the labeling of chapters. And so, starting off with Chapter 1. Our beginning expedition. It took me a bit, Galactic, because I started this thing and I got really into it. And now I'm about to get really into it again. Oh, the airs be cold, of flake and white as sailors beg their pledge, that in the dark they'll brace themselves for horrors still ahead. To the souls around them shielding fear, dividing up their dread, a hunger draws the desperate here. Such lonely souls need be led. What will ye do when steel and hearts break, and courage does not abscond? I'll lead these souls, so help the gods, out of the pale beyond. The Temperance. Crew wanted. Able-bodied crew wanted for dangerous expedition. Months of darkness, low wages, slim chance of safe return. Glory to be had in the event of success. I'm alone in the office. The tea in my hand is long since gone cold. It's perfectly adequate. Looking around the room, I can make out a collection of military books. On the desk is a ship in a bottle. A metronome ticks away steadily. I find it rather calming. The dedicated rhythm soothes the senses. It stops. I hear footsteps climbing the stairs that brought me here. I shall remain standing. Door behind me. Oh, a blunder. Swings open. The captain bounds past you to the other side of the desk. Do you have all your teeth? I've got enough to get by. Can't ever be too careful. The captain sits down. It's the little things you can lose that can lose people too. I've not had scurvy before, if that's what you're asking. There's more things to worry about than just scurvy. How many people have died under your supervision? More than I care to admit. Can you remember their faces? Every single one. Please, take a seat. Thank you. The chair is uncomfortably large, and the seat feels worn. I'm Captain Hunt. The pleasure is mine. Robin Shaw. He nods. On your desk. What ship is that? Now this. Detailed, isn't she? Incredibly. An old sailor superstition. I hope you weren't waiting too long. I'm told it's worth the wait. Good. There's been a lot of candidates. Some good, some bad. Interesting mix. I'm sure you understand the need for discretion. I'm going to keep listening. Months of darkness. Low wages. Slim chance of safe return. That didn't deter you, did it? It's to be expected, surely, Shaw replies. I thought it'd be blunt. It's proven remarkable at weeding out the weak and the pretend. I have a few questions first. He looks down at his list of questions. Were you born a landlubber or sea dog? Oh, is this actually where the difficulty comes from? And how interesting. They have, like, curious symbols and even a possibly a random option in I'm sorry? Huh. Landborn, saltborn, mixed. Let's have some fun here. I think I have a sense of feeling that mixed might give us a little bit more of a balanced experience. I was worried that the poem that we read through earlier might have been the difficulty selection. Or heck, it might actually just be the way to select the seed for the survival process. Because I think I probably just chose maybe a time frame that would send me on a more nocturnal journey. So I might be very screwed here. If I knew, I would tell you. I've been all over, but I'm here now. A mutt wash. Plenty of those joining. Myself included. Military experience. Wow. Colonial merchant criminal. Colonial sounds fun, but I wonder if that'll lead me to being a little bit too stock up. All of these options no one appreciates, I feel. There's a reason to hate either a colonial merchant or a criminal. The Age of Steam. Sorry, that's a reference. We're gonna go with a merchant. Sailed merchant lines, 12 years. Very good. What did you trade in? Fruit mostly. Honest work. Have you ever fired a weapon? Yes. Have you ever killed a man, directly or otherwise? Yes. Hmm. I see. You're not married, are you? Of course not. Couldn't land anyone. Getting a little real. You better not have a death wish. One must believe the return to justify leaving in the first place. Any less and you're doing yourself a disservice. I'm just going to continue to be polite. We're here to find the ship in that bottle. The Viscount. Heard of it? No, enlighten me. 5 years ago, she set sail on a research expedition toward the Dead Peninsula. They were trying to find and study the absolute magnetic south. If they found it, I might have heard of them. She never came back. Her last known location was 200 miles south of land, presumed lost to ice. Edward's supposed to be chasing this ship? Exactly. I'm gonna need more than rumors about lost ships if I'm putting my life at risk. Naturally, here's what we do know. Not one person or thing has been heard from the Viscount since it left port. So we're chasing ghosts, then? Maybe it's a myth. Maybe it isn't. I can assure you the money is real. With more money than sense want that old ship. That's the job. If I don't pick the first mate, someone else will, and, well, my judge of character's gotten me this far. What of our own ship? We're traveling on board the Temperance. She's a beauty. Grade 1. Generational. Not many left like it these days. The Viscount and the Temperance. They're sister ships. Built together. Sent out into this world to die alone. Poetic. Indeed. I like to think one calls out for the other. The captain looks at the bottled ship. So what do you think? It's worth a chance if there's anyone alive. I agree. The captain checks his watch. Anyway, I think I've heard enough. The captain stands up. We leave in a month. Welcome aboard, Shaw. Proverbially speaking. Don't you need more information? Not if I'm a captain worth his salt. I work with people, not professions. I'd sooner trust a good carpenter than a cruel sailor to save me from drowning. Little lass, I'll see you on the Temperance. I've got a good feeling about you, Shaw. The feeling's mutual. Captain makes his way to the door as you follow. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Ooh, words. I was originally thinking that I was the captain, but it looks like I'm the first mate. We'll see how long that lasts. You arrive. I arrive at the docks. A month to the day. Before me lies a ship. The letters on its side read the Temperance. Let's approach. I walk to the to the boarding ramp. Beside is a sharply dressed man overseeing the loading of cargo. Oh, is this our captain friend? Oh no, this is someone different. He turns to you with a stern expression. I feel his eyes assessing me. Ooh, a mudwash tag. Ooh, interesting. They actually show you whenever your backstory or choices affect something. This is curious. Because of that, we've made ourselves unreadable to this man. That's totally fine, Galactic. Still, I appreciate you being here. Back to the narrative. May I have your name? I'm Robin Shaw. Oh, of course. That would make you the captain's choice for first mate, correct? I'm Mr. Templeton. I shall be operating as the chief science officer on this expedition. I am also the incumbent representative of our benefactor. Do, however, consider myself and my team at you and the captain's disposal. What did you specialize in, Templeton? Applied botany. That's reassuring. He nods. No doubt. I needn't inform you of your duties. You're second only to Captain Hunt himself. Though I must warn you that you have quite the task ahead. The rabble I've spent the afternoon sorting are the same that you'll have to whip into shape. Punctually, schedule. A strict adherence is what we need at this extent. Templeton, are you okay? Shut up. If we need to be strict, I expect you to be the organized sort. You would not have been assigned to this role otherwise. And now we've got a clock. Interesting. As well as a temperature meter. Ooh. I doubt there will be much issue. We can only hope. But your role is more strenuous than it first seemed. Let me know when you're ready to depart. The less valuable time we waste here, the better. Interesting. So we get a small opportunity to poke around, I guess. We can traverse back to the city. We got a young man and the temperance itself. I want to have a chat here. A young man stands at the ramp, steeling himself for the journey ahead. Hesitantly, he begins to drag his feet up into the ramp and onto the ship. I do hope that man's okay. Part of me wants to try exploring the city. But I feel like we should probably try to take this a little bit seriously. Get the stuck-up old coot on our side. Hunt's depiction of the ship was accurate. Near identical to the Viscount. Bearing some modern additions. Probably what the smokestack is. This might actually just be an inspection of the city. We might not go there, so let's take a peek. We'll be going for quite a while. Yeah, no, I don't need to go back to the city. It's time for us to set sail. Week 1 on the Temperance. It's been a month. A hunger draws the desperate here. Such lonely souls need lead. What will ye do when steel hearts break and courage does abscond? I'll lead these souls to help the gods out of the pale beyond. First Mate Shaw, personal log. It's been 1 month since I signed on, and 1 week. We set sail aboard the Temperance. I am told the waters will get warmer as we pass the hemisphere before they turn colder. I've never known a ship like this before. A technical marvel. Elegant machinery expertly weaved throughout one of the fastest hardwood ships of its day. Reborn for this mission, breathing again with life, she's simply magnificent. As for its master, he's mostly kept to his quarters so far. The captain seems a trustworthy sort. Experience alone justifies his position. There aren't many who can make out the other end of a naval military service with all their limbs, let alone his vigor. I can't shake the feeling that he's not telling the whole truth. But perhaps I'm too quick to judge. There are now 22 of us, including the captain. Our next port will be our last before we enter the ice, to pick up the remaining 4 members of the crew. The scouting team. Hunt has also been keen to work out a deal on a pack of sledding dogs. The crew are a strange lot. Eclectic as the ship itself. One of Hunt's sailors approaches. Captain wants you at the helm. Good. I want to see him. Yeah. He leaves. Ooh. Interesting, they've got the both, I assume, dawn and twilight marked on the timer. That's very nice. Here is our ship. We're going to be staring at this for quite a while until we hit ice. I dust off a little bit of the sea breeze from my coat and start walking along the plank line down to the end of the ship, joining Hunt at the helm. I ascend the stairs to the stern and find the old captain manning the helm of the ship. I just repeated what they were going to say to me. Maybe I shouldn't roleplay in certain things of it. Getting used to the sea breeze. Robin. Lovely day for it, isn't it? It is indeed, Captain. Indeed. It's like days like this. I make sure to do my share of the sailing. He winks. I let him continue. He thinks for a moment before stepping aside and stretching out a wrinkled hand. Did you ever take the helm in the merchant navy, or were you stuck carrying crates? Here, why don't you have a try? I'll go ahead and confidently take the wheel. I grip the wheel of the ship, and I feel the weight of the waves in my arms. Oh. The memory in your muscles rear themselves as I begin to move in time with the ship and the wind. Easy. There. You have it. The captain pats you on the back. Fantastic. Now try and get a sense of where we are. Get some perspective. Oh. Peaceful, isn't it? Panning and zooming speeds can be adjusted in the settings menu. Ha ha ha. Takes the wheel back from me. I think I'll drink in the morning a little longer. Would you mind preparing my quarters for the day's work? There is much to do. Alright, a quarter seeking time. It seems to be located just below the stern. There's that familiar metronome. On the desk, I make out a variety of papers, notes, and maps, as well as a sealed letter with a stamp you recognize as the mark of the Apperton Tinning Company. The desk itself is suspended with ropes to keep it safely in place. Oh. I didn't know that ropes kind of served that purpose. I guess if it's like tight enough, then it's not really swaying at all. I guess that makes sense. Classical painting depicting sailors doing battle with a kraken. Very sailorly. An ode to an old folk story, known to all Captain Seamus. Or was it Habish? A pristine furnished tub secured to the floor. A luxury to pay had on the ice. I take a seat at the end of the room. Oh, this chair sucks. The captain joins me. Now, let's run through our provisions before taking requests. To start, there's 23 souls signed on to this expedition. Ourselves included. That's 16 free to be assigned to tasks, if they aren't already busy. The rest are deployed to their permanent stations. You're only able to deploy crew who you have discovered. They must be in good health and not otherwise deployed to another post. We'll be picking up the scouting crew at next port. The lot of us also seem to be in good spirits. Morale, I think. The expedition will end, tearing itself apart if you end the week with no decorum left. Oh. We have enough provisions for at least 6 months in case of emergency. If you cannot afford the minimum food rations at the end of the week, a crew member will become malnourished. Unless cured, the malnourished status will develop into scurvy, a severe status effect that prevents crew from working, eventually killing them at the end of the week. Oh, man. Okay. And more than enough fuel to see us there and back again. Colder temperatures will increase the minimum fuel required at the end of the week. If you cannot afford that minimum fuel, the crew will become freezing. Unless cured, freezing status will develop into frostbite, and it will prevent the crew from working, eventually killing them at the end of the week. Sledding dogs. Well, they're still a matter of negotiation. Dogs will be needed to send sledding teams out to gather resources on the ice. Sending hunts out further requires a greater amount of dogs. They will rest and become available between weeks. Now, on to work. Alright. We've got Corvid and Cordell. Let's get friendly with Cordell. Have you agreed upon my conditions? To the point, eh? Shaw, this is Lady Cordell. Cordell here is to provide us with a kennel of hounds for the sleds. And our agreement was that she would train them up until we part ways at the nearest island. But you neglected to inform me that you were bringing my dogs through the Pale Passage. I had no intention of sending the pack to its death. You seem to have good faith in this expedition. It's one thing to ask for my whole kennel. It's another to drag them into the ice to chase a myth. Never before has a buyer been so dishonest. And never before has a seller made such strong demands. Let's be cordial. My rendition of Shaw is gonna try to be nice. Eventually, I feel like being nice might not work. Let's see. Lady Cordell? A moniker given to me by the locals of the city, on account of her vernacular. I find it odd that you seem to have researched me as much as you have my kennel. I like to know who I'm negotiating with. Regardless, Shaw, she demands we allow her to come along the expedition, as a member of the crew. None on the ship have the experience and familiarity with these dogs as I possess. If you are taking them to such a brutal location, they will need me to guide them if they have any chance of survival. The humans on board too, of course. Of course. You can see my dilemma, Shaw. Bringing on another member of the crew is a risk, but our hands may be tied. Your thoughts? I don't really see a harm in having an expert on the dog sleds. Sled dogs, dog sleds, sled dog, dog sleds. It's totally fine. A good point, Shaw. He turns to her. The deal is already to your benefit. Do you have anyone on board with intensive training in the management and ruling of dogs? Your sleds are useless if you can't control the dogs effectively enough to haul them. And I would like to ensure my dogs are treated properly. Welcome aboard, Cordell. Your knowledge should prove valuable. Invaluable. I'll have a room prepared for you, below deck. No need. You'll find me in the forecastle with the dogs. She leaves. I hope I'm not making a mistake, Shaw. Who is this dude? A sailor enters. We found a stowaway in the lower hold. Bring them in. Another sailor enters, leading a young man by their side. You know, you're not the first stowaway I've had. The captain studies them further. You know where we're heading, don't you? I do, sir. The ice. Did you know that before you climbed inside that crate? I did, sir. How old are you? You're hardly a pair of useful hands. Not true. I can pull my weight, sir. Do you know your jaboon from a bowsprit? I do. I learned it from my da. Your da. These words, son. Followed him on board the deck back in the city. What should we do with him, Captain? Well, Jean, your first mate. What should we do with him? Can I actually make the choice of not making a decision? I'm shocked that they give me that option. We're already one more than needed. And we're already going to get another 4 people showing up in here later. Do we really need to have 29 people? I feel like we already might be taking a little bit of a risk with having her here. Or having an extra person. Though I do like the experience of having a dog expert. That's probably going to keep our dogs around for a lot longer. This kid is not staying on board. Drop them off at our next stop. Leave them with enough money to catch a boat back to the city. I didn't think it's pertinent to bring many money to a frozen desert, did you? Best hope the boy's father has enough to keep him going. Two sailors dragged the stowaway back below deck, taking him to see his father in the crew cabins. Oh yeah, that would also suck. Because the father's aboard, and as a father, I would not want to take my own son out here. Because that is just a little bit too dangerous. And what of the father? Should we drop him off with the boy? It's his son. That's for him to decide. Very well. Hopefully he doesn't care for the runt and I'm not down a sailor. Alright, well, that matter's sorted. Finish your quests. Now that that's all settled, I have one more errand for you to run. Could you grab the Stoke brothers and order them to meet me at the deck after dinner? After you lads, red hair, couldn't mistake them for another. Do you require me for this meeting? No. This isn't a matter a first officer need to concern themselves with. They'll be down on the middle deck. In the meantime, you should grab a copy of the crew manifest and get acquainted with more of the crew. That seems apt. After all, I really don't know who I'm hanging out with. There's a dude hanging out on the mast. Hello. Upon closer inspection, make out the ship's photographer, Kasha Belford, balancing on the ship's mast with a camera, lining up a photo. I'll just wait. Snapping a shot, she clambers down, only noticing you on her landing. Oh, Officer Shaw. It's about time I met the first officer of this ship. Kasha Belford. You seem to already know my name. How so? I do my research. I suppose there was some sort of rule against what I was doing up there. Deepest apologies, but sometimes there's a shot you just cannot pass up. An accomplished photographer, Kasha Belford, won the Fentler Prize, the highest honor in journalism, for her work covering plague outbreaks and riots in the capital. It came as a surprise to many that such a reputable journalist would take such an interest in this expedition. There was scarcely a chance of Hunt or the benefactor turning her away. You expected someone of her accolades to be older, more experienced. This is likely her first time on the sea like this. Her proof is all we have. Unless we devise a way to bring the Viscount back with us, her proof is all we're going to have to catalog. So, bare minimum, a picture is our goal. The cold game. Picture that as a header. What? For the piece on this voyage, I'm trying to come up with a snappy name. Nobody will read it if the title sounds like the work of an amateur. Sounds fine to me. I like it. Kasha places a finger on her chin, squinting her eye in thought. It's not perfect, but it's a work in progress. Plenty of time. We haven't even hit the ice yet. It's just all so exciting already. I suppose in your experience, the open ocean is the home of the mundane. Though I suppose you never traveled this far south on the merchant lines. I'm not adverse to thrills. Well, I hope we have some coming this way. I'm hoping to capture something right out of Kurt Daring's old escapades. That reminds me, I'll be joining us at the next port. I should get his picture at some point. Kasha holds up her camera with a sense of pride before holding it up to her face. Stand still, Shaw. How long do they take to develop? Only a day or two. I've made a makeshift dark room in the hold. Speaking of photographs, hands you an annotated document. Here it is, the crew manifest. Joseph Drogren. Amelia Corvid Sparrow. Krillian Smurf Sanders. Undiscovered. Ooh. Wait, these are... Oh, there are classes for people. We got scouts, engineers, scientists, specialists. Ha, I like what they've done with Robin Shaw. Perfect. Richard Templeton. Rufus Hunt. Okay. Resource cards. Key items. Okay. Manifest. It's a work in progress. The scout team are to join us at the next port, and the captain's forbidden me from the boiler room. Yeah, sorry about that. Oof. If you could ask the others to get their portraits taken, I'd be very grateful. I don't want to leave anyone out. I'll see what I can do. I'll not disturb you out of your work any further, officer. I have a few more shots I want to get for the sunflowers anyhow. Safe shots, officer, don't worry. I leave her to her work. Got a lot before us. We also have a few more crew members to say hi to. Let's get that moving. We got 2 Johns here. You spot a large man with a youthful gait, carrying a heavy crate over his shoulder with relative ease. Oh, you're Officer Shaw. He gives a bright, warming smile. Look at this guy. Look at that beard. Ah, this is a strong guy. 2 Johns. That's what they call me. I'm sure you'll get your nickname later. 2 Johns attempts to offer a handshake, but loses control of the crate. He struggles before firmly holding it in place with both hands. Maybe later. Work awaits. John. 2 John. I get it. Very nice. Now we're indoors. Whoa, okay. That moves fast. Ooh, I can hear the sounds of an accordion ringing out. Ooh. Let's go even lower. Here we are. We've got lots of people here. Our whole crew. Chilling out. Just some gentle tunes. Let's chat with the cook first. You find yourself almost knocking over a man carrying a heavy pot. Careful. You almost got drenched in broth. Apologies. I'm in a rush. On request for Hunt. From Hunt? Is there an issue with the ship? No, he just wanted me to find the Stoke brothers for a meeting. Not surprised. Those 2 are the only ones who know what's going on aboard this bloody ship. You hear a roar from the other side of the door. Oi! What you holding up? The cook shakes his head with a smile and chuckles slightly to himself. He grabs a large pot and prepares to make his way to the hungry crew before turning his head to you. If you don't mind, would you carry that tray of biscuits behind me? I grab the plate and follow the cook out the door into the table where the crew are waiting with bated breath. Upon the cook's arrival, the sailors let out a rowdy cheer. Aha! Pot gets placed down upon the table. Trust me, fellas, this one's worth the wait. The cook speaks with a tone of pride as he ladles the broth into a bowl of the crew. Oi, one at a time, you animals. What? You're awfully handsy for one arm. Piss off, Junior. Got some bread here, too. Grab it fast before tuck your bitch into it. Crew's laugh and are merry as Junior guides you back to the kitchen. We weren't properly introduced. Robin Shaw, right? I've been keeping track of all the new crew. You're in Stokes. Nobody calls me that. You hear them all call me Junior. You should do the same. No idea why Hunt picked someone he's never worked with as first mate. But you seem the helpful sort. Glad to have you aboard. Have you been traveling with Hunt long? My brother and I are among Hunt's most tenured crew. It's not often he'll hire outsiders, but I suppose this job is too big for the usual suspects. Why Junior? Simple nickname. Older brothers in the crew. Hence, Junior. Not very interesting, I know. Well, Hunt wished to see you as soon as possible. Yes, good old Hunt. Never a rest on this ship, let me tell you. Especially when Hunt takes a liking to you. So let's call the crew for dinner. Crew have their meal. Passes in relative silence. Oh crap, I didn't even get the chance to speak with the guy. Uh-oh. Whoops. I must spend my time wisely, I suppose. There's the vent here at the dinner table. Over dinner, you overhear the stowaway speaking with one-armed man. You'll be dropped off at the next port, then. You could talk the captain into letting me stay, right? Can't talk Hunt to anything when his mind's made up. Besides, he's right. But I can help. You're lucky he didn't throw you overboard. When we make land, I'm making sure you catch a trip back home. I'll be back after this. Not soon enough. Doug Ward added to the manifest. Runts da. Mr. Gloss. Maybe we'll have a chat with him. But I feel like Templeton has hitting me with a bit of concern here. I spot Templeton looking out into the sunset. As I approach, he turns to you and to me and nods. Officer Shaw. It will be some time before we see a sunset such as this again. The light distribution toward the southern pole is quite the change. Sentimental? In a sense. There is a great expectation upon us, officer. Do you think Captain Hunt is up to the task? I admit, I do not know. That man's a mystery to me. You, however, seem likely to steer him right. That I can trust. Templeton looks down, catching his reflection on the ocean surface. He looks back up at the sunset. Quite the sight. But I wouldn't linger upon it too long. We should retire for the evening. It's important the first officer be well rested. Snap, that's a whole week? Oh, man. What the heck? I can be stingy? Let's go with normal. Well, we're going to be stopping off at a port next. So, I think we can be fine. Man, that consumes a lot going normal. Dang. Runt leaves the expedition at Orc Island. Ship makes its last port at Orc Island. Cordell's sledding dogs are picked up. Scouting crew and Kurt Darling are picked up. The days are getting brighter as I move further south. Entering into week 2. Saved game to the tree. Save tree system. Oh, okay, interesting. Well, we've had a very interesting start here. And we've got a lot of time on the sea ahead of us. Shaw is still very hopeful, but I have a grand feeling that he has no clue about all the difficulties that lie before him. And so, I'll be seeing you in the next